My name is Danielle. I'm 29 years old and I live in Houston, Texas. For 2 years, the man I was dating believed I needed him. He thought I depended on him. What he didn't know was that I make $40,000 a month. And I never corrected him, not once. You see, I run a private consulting firm, high-level contracts, quiet money, the kind of income that doesn't need to be loud. But when I met Marcus, I told him I worked remote in marketing. That's it. No numbers, no details. And somehow he filled in the blanks himself. He assumed I was average. He assumed I was lucky to have him. And at first, I didn't mind until the comments started. Marcus worked in real estate, mid-level, commission-based. He liked to talk about money. He liked to say things like, men are providers. Women need stability. Don't worry, baby. I'll take care of you. At first, it sounded protective, but then it turned into, babe, you wouldn't understand its investment stuff. You should be grateful you have someone ambitious. One day I'll upgrade you. Upgrade me. I paid for our first vacation. He thought it was on sale. I covered half his rent once when the deal fell through. He called me supportive. He never once asked how I afforded anything. He just assumed I stretched my budget. And that assumption told me everything I needed to know. So when Valentine's Day was 3 days away, I decided to test him. I booked a private rooftop restaurant in Miami. Ocean view, live violinist, custom menu, champagne imported from France. Total cost, $87,000. And I paid in full. Marcus thought he was planning something small in Houston. Dinner, flowers, basic. He had no idea I flew us first class to Miami. He had no idea I rented out the rooftop. He had no idea I arranged a surprise reveal. Because I wanted to see something. I wanted to see how he would act when he believed he was in control. And then, 2 days before the trip, I saw something strange. Marcus became distant, protective of his phone, smiling at messages, taking calls in the bathroom. I asked him once, "Everything okay?" He kissed my forehead and said, "Relax, Danielle. Don't overthink." Don't overthink. So I didn't. Instead, I upgraded the surprise. I hired a photographer. I arranged the floral installation. I even had a custom gold bracelet engraved to my future. Because if he passed this test, I was going to tell him everything. My income, my business, my assets, everything. But Valentine's night came, and that's when everything changed. The Miami skyline was glowing. Candles everywhere. Soft violin music. Rose petals along the walkway. I stood there in a deep red satin dress, waiting, heart steady. Then I saw him step off the elevator, smiling, confident. But he wasn't alone. He walked in with another woman, holding her hand. She looked confused. He looked comfortable, like he thought this was normal, like he thought this rooftop was his. He froze when he saw me, and that's when I understood. He thought he was bringing her to impress her. He thought he was the one in control. He stuttered. "Danielle, what are you doing here?" I smiled. "I planned this." Silence. The other woman slowly let go of his hand. She looked at the violinist, at the flowers, at the private staff. And then she asked him, "You did this?" He didn't answer, because he couldn't. The restaurant manager walked up to me and said, "Miss Danielle, would you like us to continue?" And that's when his face changed. Miss Danielle. Not +1. Not guest. Owner of the reservation. Owner of the night. I turned to her and I said, "I didn't know you were invited." She stepped back. He stepped forward. "Baby, this isn't what it looks like." I nodded slowly. "You're right. It looks worse." Then I did something simple. I pulled out my phone, opened my banking app, turned the screen toward him, and said, "I never told you I make $40,000 a month." His face drained. "I was going to tell you tonight. I was going to propose to you. I was going to merge my life with yours. But you just saved me." Silence. The other woman looked at him. "You told me she depended on you." I smiled. "I don't depend on anyone." Then I turned to the manager. "Cancel the romantic setup. Keep the champagne. And add 2 more glasses. Because I invited her to sit with me." Yes. I invited the other women to sit with me. We talked. Turns out he told her the same story. That he was the provider. That women needed him. That he paid for everything. She laughed. I laughed. He stood there, alone, on a rooftop he didn't book, in a city he didn't pay for, in front of 2 women who no longer believed him. And the final blow, I paid for her Uber back to her hotel. Not his. He had to call a rideshare himself on Valentine's night. From a rooftop he thought was his. Back in Houston, I never posted about it, never exposed him publicly. Because real power doesn't need an audience. But I learned something that night. Never shrink yourself to protect someone else's ego. And never let a man believe you need him to survive, especially when he can't even afford the rooftop he tried to steal. Valentine's Day wasn't ruined. It was revealing. And honestly, it was the most expensive lesson he ever learned. Not for me, for him. If you have ever let someone underestimate you, subscribe. Because this channel, we don't stay quiet anymore.